Hi, my name is Matt from ClickBid. In this tutorial, I want to dig a little deeper into sharing contacts with your Kindful account. And in order to do that, what you would want to go to is the um, software settings, connect to BidKit. And what it's going to do is it's going to pop this open, and then you're going to go to integrations, authenticate with Kindful. And then you're going to log into your Kindful account. You're going to say, yes, I'm happy to share that data, and it's going to go ahead and come back here. After about 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops, we're going to try to get what we call an offline version of your contacts by name, phone number, and email address so that we can try to help you match up sales when your auction's over. The reason we want to do this is because at the very basic functionality, we think you should use this integration after your event, after you've checked people out. You don't need to bring in a bunch of people beforehand. You can let people register to bid from your ClickBid website. You can check people in when they come to the event and so on. And so, at the end of the night, you're going to have sale records and you're going to have bidders who won things that you can then match up later. And we try to make that available to you. But let's say you have a bunch of brand new contacts that you want to import into Kindful. In order to do that, we've got a couple of tools. We're bound a little bit by the limitations of Kindful's integration and so on, and some of the tools and features available. But what we've got here is a export bidders page. And what it's going to do is it's going to show you two things with a lot of copy. We definitely want you to read through this, but you can either update the bidders that you have with links to Kindful. So for instance, Amanda Adams, and I want to put in her contact ID. Well, where do I get that contact ID? If I go to my Kindful account and I search for Adams, and I want, let's just say it's Jessica Adams, or I have Jessica Adams's. It's going to bring up her record. You're going to see her name here, and then you're going to, in the URL, see a integer, a number. It's a 6, 7, 8-digit number sometimes, and you're going to take that number. This is the universal identifier in Kindful. You're going to copy that, and then you're going to, let's just match it to this one. You're going to paste that here, and then you're going to press update. What that does is it tells ClickBid, okay, Jessica Adams is this Kindful contact in Kindful. Okay, perfect. So whenever I export a sale from BidKit into Kindful, match it up. The other option is that, let's say, I don't have some of these people in my Kindful account, like Matt Burnell or Manual Export or, some bidder, you've got some of these that you need to export. So I'm going to go over just the basic way that you get data into Kindful. This is any type of data. So what I'm going to do is press this blue link. It's going to download a CSV file. We've pre-formatted it exactly the way that Kindful wants it so that you don't have to change or modify anything. And what that means is all I have to do is if I go to contacts and activities, import data, it's going to ask me to read a bunch of stuff, which basically says, be careful. But the nice thing is you're going to import it into a sandbox first. So let's say we screw it up, no big deal. Kindful lets me get rid of it and start over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see here that I have no imports. I'm going to choose new import. And then I'm going to choose the format or the type of data I want, which is contacts. Now it's going to tell me, here's a template. The nice thing is that we've already created the file in the template that we got here. So everything's good to go. All you have to do is say, I have my templates ready, let's go. And then I'm going to find that file and I'm going to upload it. That's all I did. I didn't have to format it, change it, open it, nothing. I just drop it down there and hit go. Then I'm going to come to this area, mapping status. So we're going through these steps here. In this mapping status, I'm going to press map. And it's going to show me the data. And again, because we formatted that file for you, everything here matches up exactly the way Kindful wants it. So you go all the way to the bottom and you say map columns. And then it's going to do some thinking and thinking and thinking. And very quickly, it's going to say completed. And I have the options to edit or delete. But what I really want to do is verify. Again, because we gave you the formatted file, everything is already formatted. Don't open the file, don't touch it, don't change it, none of that. And I'm ready to approve. And it says scheduling the import will first wipe out your sandbox environment. The keyword here being sandbox. You've done nothing to your production data at this point. You're good to go. So it's going to try to, 2 contacts will be updated, 9 contacts will be created, and then you can ignore this custom field. That's okay. So I'm going to schedule my import, and it's scheduled. So it says up to 2 hours. I've never seen it take longer than like 2 minutes. And so we basically just sit here and wait, and it's going to import those records. Now, it said we're going to update 2 records. What that means is when I dump my data from BidKit, you'll notice here that I had a Jessica and a Jessica. These are the same people. And then I had, I think that might be the only duplicate, or maybe a Matt and a Matt. But so what it's going to do is it's going to deduplicate that when it imports it. So if you had ticket sales, donations, and auction purchases, you might have that person's name in there 6 times. That's okay. The import into Kindful is going to deduplicate that. So I'm going to press here, see if it's done. Yep. So it's ready for review. I'm going to press review, and it's going to say 11 contacts total. And now I can go in and finalize. Now what this does, this is important. This will actually take the data that you've gotten ready, and it's going to put it into your production account. Now, the higher that number, the higher the number here, the more you really want to pay attention to it, because we are going to create 11 contacts. So what Kindful does not do, from what I've seen, is that if I'm importing, let's see here, a Amanda Adams, it'll take care of any duplicates in my file. But if there's already an Amanda Adams in my Kindful account, it's going to make another one. So there is the potential that you're going to make duplicates. Now, if this is a smaller number, that may be okay. You can go through and look for duplicates using some of the Kindful tools. If that's not okay, then you do not want to do this, because you're going to make more work for yourself than it's worth. But for people who are just starting out with Kindful, if you're looking for data that you want to bring in, it's never been in Kindful, or there's very few items that are in Kindful, then that's okay. And I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to finalize. I've reviewed my data. It's basically telling me, be careful, what I just told you. And then I'm going to proceed. Now, it says it can take several hours, but it never takes several hours. It usually takes just a few minutes. I want to emphasize that when you bring data from the sandbox into the production account in Kindful, if there are duplicates, it's going to make another contact. So you may have 2 John Smiths, 2 Sally Smiths. What you can do then is, once that data is in, you can go to contacts and activities and contact duplicates. So let's look for contact duplicates. And now it says there's no potential duplicates found. Well, that's great. What that means is that everybody I imported is perfectly fine. Now, one thing to keep in mind is give yourself a little bit of time here. Again, I said it takes up to 2 hours. Usually it's only a few minutes, but you don't want to be too hasty on this duplicate thing. You want to make sure that you give it a little bit of time to get imported. And it looks like, I have no potential duplicates found. So that's a good thing. So, Kindful is doing a lot of work here to try and find anybody that's duplicated, because we hate duplicate data in your CRM. So that would be a way to get your contacts out of ClickBid and into Kindful using some of the tools that are available. In the future, as we build a better integration, things might become more readily available to make this even simpler. But for now, that's really the best way to do it. And again, I do want to stress, this is not a requirement when you're working with ClickBid and Kindful. The best case scenario is that you just wait until the end of the event, not linking any data from Kindful or ClickBid. And then when you're ready, just go to Kindful, export sales in your BidKit account, and then it's going to show you a huge list of sales that need to be sent over. And you can send them one at a time. You can send them, in groups and so on. And we're going to give you some options here to make that transfer just a little bit easier. So hopefully that's helpful. And thanks a lot.